after an adventure all around the country. Started here in the Western Cape, covering the elections a few weeks back, and from there, God bless it, what's going on here? Stuff just falling all over the place. From there, went to Gauteng, caught the quarterfinal with the Bulls, and did some more things up there. Met with African Forum and some other folks, including Camp MPLA. From there, on to Port Elizabeth, the Eastern Cape. Once that was done, went over to KwaZulu-Natal, Durban, up to Howick or Umgeni, and from there on up to Gauteng, where I spent the past few days. Caught the semifinal at Loftus, and then did a few other things, met with some folks. And now I'm back here in the Western Cape for a couple of days before I head back to Gauteng for the Bulls final United Rugby Championship at Loftus Versfeld in a few days. Good evening, folks. Welcome to the program. We just got, a handful of likes there. That's kind of sad, so early on. Yes, there's another video. We'll talk about that. So the title for the program has nothing to do with the events that are unfolding related to Renaldo, but rather the fact that I planned on doing this because Renaldo would not be available tonight because he had to go to the inauguration. And so I joked with him before all that broke and said, hey, I'm going to do Wednesdays without Renaldo. But all this stuff is broken in the past 48 hours regarding Renaldo. So we're going to have to talk about that tonight a little bit. Give me a second here. I've got some weird stuff going on here. For some reason, my... this is not... Okay, I'm just trying to cancel this. Courtney, hey, I'm back from my annual training for the Navy. Welcome back. $2 super chat. Thank you for that, Courtney. I appreciate that. You missed out on all the fun for the past few weeks, to say the least. It's been quite an interesting couple of weeks, or a month here in South Africa. Oh, stop it, Windows. Keep telling me you're using the drive. You're not using the drive. Anyway, so phantom things just keep showing up here. But anyway, so back to that. Yeah, so I need to open up the windows. Sorry, I want to make sure I was on time with this. So I did not get the, oh man, God, browsers can be very annoying. So YouTube, there we go. All right, so I can see the chat a little bit better. How was training? Oh, he's asking how the training was for Courtney. Yeah, I'm sure it was interesting. Sometimes that stuff's boring, but you never know. So let's take a look if I can't get here very quickly. Right, give me a second, just a moment here. Hang on a second, is that another one? No. All right, so I'm trying to get to this live. I've got a lot of thumbnails I need to make up, but I've been very busy, so I haven't been able to do that. All right, so now we finally get to the stream so I can see your chat a little bit better. I'll put this on mute as soon as it comes up. It is on mute. That's good news. And there's the chat. I don't want to talk chat. I want it all. So let me say hello. I'll say hello to everybody before we get into the topics at hand. Freelance Kate is here. James Bowie is here. Vilma Erasmus, Myra Page, Salem's Cave, Sandy Hunt, Val Cooper, Freelance Kate. They're going for Renaldo at the moment on Twitter. He has been trending for the past 3 days. Yes, that's correct. Freelance Kate. And Sandy Hunt says, would love to be a fly on the wall to see what spies this waiting for cabinet to be announced. Yeah, no, I can't wait for the cabinet to be announced either. It should be announced soon. Good evening, Dylan. Okay, my home, South Africa. Yep, Hester Coates is here. Freelance Kate, Richard Lemmer. Arctic is back. Alex Stockel. Thank you, Alex. Peter John Vorst, good evening to you. Radine Salve took the quest of defending Renaldo on Twitter. Yeah, and let's talk about Renaldo in just a second. Thank you, Courtney, for $1.99 super chat. Slot Steenkamp, this whole thing is just politics. It shall pass. Desiree Konoshi, welcome, Desiree. Good evening to you. How are you tonight? Winnie Fundamental. Oh my goodness, Winnie, I see you occasionally on the rare times I go on Facebook. I see you posting things in there. Why have you been missing for so long, Winnie? I worry that you're not well. Are you still in Texas? This is the same Winnie Fundamental. And I'm so glad to see you here tonight. Pleasure to have you back and join us once again. Right. So then we've got Courtney says a new route for management is terrible everywhere. Federal jobs program. Yeah, that's what it is. Arctic did his biannual training, not certified to drink 6 shots of tequila. Hey, Paulie, the brains behind the operations here. By the way, I had dinner tonight with Paulie after I arrived in the Western Cape. Thank you, Paulie, for dinner, or for sitting down with me at dinner. I really enjoyed it. Cyberag is back. Sean Manage. Exchange rate is taking a dump. Not good for me. Well, it's going in the favor of South Africans and against me. So Miss Plum is back here. And Ken Arnston, I'm back in your neck of the woods. Ken, I'm over in Constantia tonight. That's where I'm staying. And I found a lovely little cottage that I'm going to have to check out on another visit because this is quite nice. The price is agreeable, although the check-in time is kind of stiff. But it's quite lovely, and it's in a good spot here in Constantia, so I'll have to check it out. Puget Sound Naval Bay. Jeanette's here, and Gavin Grant. Is the video of Renaldo on Twitter real? Some say it's a deep fake. South African prepper homesteading. This government of unity will result in less happening, more fighting. And Winnie says, hell yeah, I'm in Texas. I've been under the weather. Getting old is not for sissies. No, it's not, Winnie. It's not. Getting old is not for sissies. 122 people here and just 33 likes. Boy, you hurt my feelings. Look, I got this dying flower right here, just so you can see a dying flower. Got this plant in here. Yeah, those darn Dassies. I say Matthew saw my group comment when I left OR10. I said that no Hadidas were harmed in the takeoff, and on landing, no Dassies were harmed at Cape Town. Sandy says maybe against the odds, but that could be a generated footage. The rest of the video refers to. Yeah. So, and Sandy, let me put this. Okay, let's. All right. So, shall I? Let's do a poll. Okay. Shall I do a poll? Should I give a reasonable, plausible? USIB. Plausible analysis. Sorry. All right, so yes or no? Should I give a plausible analysis of the latest Renaldo video? Marola Media. Wow. Don't believe it was imitating. Yeah. So, all right, poll's up there, and you got a chance to answer it. Let me see if we get to 27 votes already. Wow, that's pretty quick. 31 votes. Yeah, let's see if we can we get up to about 100 votes here real quick. I don't believe it's AI generated. Imitating Malema, says Radine. Renaldo, even on Marola. Okay, Matthew says only Renaldo should clarify that video, even if he did say that. So what, says Matthew Dixon. Okay. Yeah, but Renaldo's the only one that needs to clarify it. But Freelance Kate says the latest video real. Well, I'm waiting to see how the poll goes. Matthew voted against it. But hey, wait, Diamond Child's here. Good night. Good night. You're here for a couple seconds. You left, but thank you for tuning in. I'll get a view out of it. 11% don't want me to give a plausible analysis. Okay. Where are the trolls tonight? I thought the trolls would just be in here for sure. Gavin's a fan, but it's hard defending what he said. It is if he actually said it, and he said it in the way the video presented it. Oh, Oliver, dude, you are way behind the times unless you're not in South Africa. It is trending all over Twitter. Actually, knew this was coming in advance. I didn't know that this was what it was, but I knew that something was coming. Could literally say Black Baby's name would still come after him. Exactly. That's right. That's right. He could be the Mother Teresa of the Kosa, and it wouldn't matter. Gavin says he can make a point without using those words. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. Hester said, a comment on one of those vids on the Colonel WhatsApp groups. It was a 15-minute one. He was using the K word and N word. He was very young and dumb. I went and looked for it. Can't find it. Did you watch it when it came out in 2010? Courtney, what we're going to get into right now. So Renaldo Host has been attacked by the leftist who ran a video and started a, by the way, there is no petition to the South African Parliament to have Renaldo removed. That's a lie. That's fake news by Independent Line, and their journalism is shoddy. Number one, I know for a fact right now that the editor at Independent Line knows that their facts were incorrect, and they ran the story on Renaldo. They spoke to someone that actually has the factual information, and they ran factually incorrect information just the same. They did correct a few of their errors, but they're running stories and giving the impression, number one, that there's a petition before the South African government to remove Renaldo as a member of Parliament. That's a lie. That's pure fiction. There is a petition on the hate wanker, self-loathing, leftist scumbag website called change.org. That has no weight whatsoever in the world of popular opinion, has no weight whatsoever in the world of governance. So there is no petition that's been presented by South African citizens to the government. It is being run by someone with an anglicized name. We don't even know if it's a real account. Anybody can pull anything on change.org. It is not a legitimate site when it comes to this sort of thing. So that's about that. It's the first thing. So they're breathlessly reporting how many thousands of signatures are on there. And I'll bet you if you try to put a poll up to say, leave Renaldo alone, I'll bet you that change.org would probably take it down lickety split, because it's a leftist website that is set up to destroy society with their garbage polls. So that's what that is. This petition is bogus. There's no merit to it whatsoever. That doesn't mean that people won't take a petition and go to their representatives and ask for this, but that hasn't happened. An independent line falsely reported this and claimed that there was a petition before Parliament. They also got the number of subscribers Renaldo had wrong. It took only 3 seconds to go to YouTube and see how many subscribers he has, but they falsely reported because they're lazy reporters and their editors even lazier. So let me get back here. So I'm not going to play the video. I'm not going to play the video because I'm not going to perpetuate what is, I believe, to be bogus nonsense. All right, so evening, Debbie. Devette Engelbrecht, good evening to you. Hi, Devette Engelbrecht. Hey, I know you. Hey, Devette. Hochhanded. Guten Abend. Radine, I just realized who that was. These words are just in Latin for black and Arabic for unbeliever. That's all it means. Yes, but it's not applied in that fashion. Chris, what can we do to help him? Well, maybe see if you can get a change.org petition to, tell these people to stop being racist against him. We had 35 signatures to ban smoking during COVID, still got banned. Yep. Garrett Gillich, Debbie Moore. Yeah, this is a little bit different though, Arctic. Okay, I wanted to see the whole video and I couldn't find it. That's because it doesn't exist. It's no video. Okay, I'm going to get into it now. All right, Freelance Kate, you're going to get your wish. The poll, let's see how many people voted in the poll. 90% say yes. That's 86 votes. I said I wait for 100. But we have 147 people here. Can I get another 14 votes? And I'll explain what is a plausible explanation for the video that's currently circulating on social media and in the fake legacy media news all over South Africa about Renaldo Gillis. So we can get 14 more votes. That's 13 more we need now. Can deepfake be used to edit the video? Yes, it can, Richard, but I don't believe, and I don't think you need to worry about deepfake, but there is something else going on here. Unfortunately, no defense for using language you did. I understand his context, but can't condone the use of language. Yeah, well, the problem with that, Gazebo, is that's why this is not a free country. People are allowed to be as stupid as they want and say the things they want. Words, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. When the words weren't directed at a person, weren't calling a particular person a name, people afraid of speech are fascist. And that's what South Africa's government is. But we'll get to that in a moment. Oh, we're going to miss you, Ken. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Good evening, Jackie Smith. We're up to 96 votes. I need 4 more, and then I'm going to go with a plausible explanation. And you can take it for what it's worth. But you do remember that I did work in the National Security Agency, and I have worked at computers since the 1970s, and I was an intelligence officer. So while my opinion might not be correct, it's certainly not uninformed. All right, the going rate for saying is around 500,000 now in South Africa. Yeah, I suppose. But you don't have free speech in this country, and that's been one of my major beefs with South Africa. So we're at 98. We need 2 more votes, and then I'll do it. South African prepper is irrelevant to South Africa. Don't worry. Okay. All right. 99. 1 more vote, and we will go with a plausible explanation. 99 and counting. 99, 99. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer. Take one now and pass around. There's just 98 now. No, 99. Good point made. Gazebo. Yes, it is a good point. Okay, 100 votes, 90% said they would like a plausible explanation. Now, this is not an explanation. I'm giving you a plausible explanation. First off, the video that's being circulated is obviously, clearly doctored. Not whether it's artificial intelligence or not, and altered in that fashion, I'll have to have a forensics expert determine that. And I believe the DA is currently doing that. But I can tell you that clearly the video has been altered. In its original form, the video, I've seen the original, Renaldo did not say the things in the order or the fashion that the video presents. In the video, the original, where Renaldo said these things, what he said is that Malema can get around with calling for killing people. And he said that if I were to say something like this, those are my words, not his, then, and he said those words, then I would be charged, if I did that. So yes, he was young, he was dumb, he was immature, it was inappropriate. But people who are afraid of words are cowards. Governments that censor speech are not legitimate. Governments that tell you can't call people names are cowards, and they have no business governing anyone. Because someone that censors your speech, a God-given right, a natural right. Now, people who try to come at this the other way and say, but Chris, no. There is speech and there is irresponsible behavior. Shouting fire in a crowded theater is irresponsible because it causes public harm. Calling someone names does not cause harm. And I don't care how many whiny, leftist, pink-haired little babies cry about this, or fake lawyers, it doesn't cause harm. If your ego is so fragile that being called a name damages your psyche and your soul, then there's something clearly wrong with you, not with the person saying. Now, in this case, What appears to have happened is that this video has been edited. They have taken words out of context, put them at the front of the video to make it appear that he was calling black people that, which he never did. He was citing an example, and it is a poor choice if, in fact, that is what he did. It's all bullshit. It's all lies. And you can't if you can prosecute somebody for uttering the word while explaining something. But see, this is protected speech under South Africa, even in a country that's afraid of speech, because you can utter that word in an artistic sense or in an explanatory sense, which is what he was doing, if in fact I'm correct in my analysis. Now, I have seen the original video, and that appears to be the case. This is an altered, doctored video to make him look bad. Look, I mean, it's not pretty. I mean, even in its original format, the video, it's not pretty. Full of profanity, but that's not a criminal act. Full of colorful language to explain a situation that's intolerable, and that's not wise, but it's not what they're making it out to be. This is a tempest in a teapot, and this is the revenge of Bianca and others. That's what's going on here. Yes, Richard, it's like in America. So the first video, people were upset because Renaldo was racist. Well, how is he racist? He said that under apartheid, black people were beaten and killed, and he said it's happening to white people now. That's not racist. That's a statement of fact. And why are people so harmed by the fact? Do you deny the thousands of people have been murdered on farms? Do you deny the hundreds of thousands of South Africans have been murdered since the ANC became the government of the day? Those are facts. Why does that hurt people's feelings? And how is that racist? How is that racist? It's unbelievable. The juvenile behavior, that first one. This one, there's actually a little bit of smoke to it, but that's because of poor juvenile decisions made at a time earlier, if that's in fact what happened. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right, so let me get back to see what you guys are saying. Unfortunately, there's no defense. Okay, it was there already. Okay. Yeah, everybody just calm down. The totally unbiased South African Human Rights Commission is on the case. Yes. Yeah, okay. So I finally got to make a stream live. Hey, Stephen Van Vyk. I'm going to put another poll up here in a minute. The irony is that basically illustrating that by calling blacks names 10 years ago, everyone freaks out. Every day, whites get subjected to racism, called names and crickets, and this was the point. That was his point, and that's what the point he was making. That's exactly the point he's making. And it doesn't matter if he hadn't used the colorful language. I mean, look at the first video that came out. He didn't use anything that's racist. All he did was say that he acknowledged under apartheid, black people were abused and murdered and beaten. And he said the same things happened to whites. That's not racist. It's a statement of fact. It's a statement of fact. And they call that racist. So you cannot win here. He has a target on his back, and they're going after him. It's as simple as that. Just like, you know, that self-pleasuring, masturbating lunatic who attacked me during the World Cup and called Supersport and said all those lies about me and ruined my conversations with Nas Bota. You know, what a self-pitying, loathing little loser that guy clearly was. What else you got here? 100% says slow. Okay. But calling me a bad word causes violence. Yeah, exactly. Robert Zede, welcome to you. Richard says, like in America. Okay. Winnie, sounds like the Democrats in America. Yep. Your government censors LGBTQ and stuff. How can you judge? LL Entertainment, what the hell are you talking about? My government doesn't censor any LGBTQ. What drugs are you taking? Are you on Daga? Are you smoking weed? Are you zolling? Where are you getting this from? What does my government censor? What a lie. Tell me, give me an example of how my government censored LGBTQ stuff. Go ahead. I dare you. It's impossible. It doesn't exist. It's illegal. The government can't censor it. How can I judge? I'm a human being. I can judge whoever I want. And oh, by the way, I'm actually a judge, so I can judge what I want. I wouldn't have risked saying anything of those words. Yeah, I agree with you, Graham. But when you're in your 20s and you know you're not as experienced in life, people make a mistake. There's a difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. Exactly. When he says, so please, LL Entertainment, I'm waiting on your, let me give you here, see if you come up with it. L My 5 Pence is in here. Good evening to you. Welcome to you. Jackie says, defamation of character based on deceit and lies is the sin here. Yeah, he's being attacked. Facts are racist. Press the wrong button for the poll. I just woke up and I'm, sorry, Erica. Michael Holmes, more people were dying in apartheid than New South. That's a lie. That's a factual lie, Michael Holmes. That's actually a factual lie. That's a factual lie. Even when you include the 20,000 Inkatha members murdered by the ANC and the 5,000 ANC members killed in retaliation by Inkatha members, that's 25,000. You add to it the 2,500 black South Africans and colored South Africans killed by the security services and the government over the course of 40 years, and you don't even hit 5 years worth of murders under the new party. You know, you got to stop coming with this garbage, Michael. Start doing your research. You know, it's so easy to refute this stuff. I mean, you don't even have to go look for it. But that's just pure poppycock. You're making stuff up. You're regurgitating some garbage that someone's fed you. Learn for yourself. Go out there and figure it out. It's not hard to do. It's the source. They want to deny farmers, and anybody who speaks up is destroyed. Yep, exactly. Why are they so desperate to deny farm murders that are real? Why are they so desperate? I mean, the demonic obsession with attacking people who report on farm murders is beyond the pale. Why is that? And even when we report on farm murders of blacks and report on farm murders of Indians, report on farm murders of coloreds, they still want to deny it. They want to deny it. So what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? People telling the truth. I'm talking about the authorities that be. I appreciate Renaldo's short video on why South Africa post office is obsolete. Bad man, it just makes even more talk. I don't know what that video is. Okay, who are they, do you think? I know who they are, but I'm not going to disclose it here. Erica's welcoming home. Yes, U.S. government censors LGBT so badly they invite 2 trans people to put on a show at the White House. Thank you, Arctic. There's exactly right. This is LL Entertainment. I don't know where you're getting that nonsense from. Pierre Obama, welcome to you. My 5 pence watched YouTube today. The black man said that he called the K word. Never heard him speak like that. Huh? I've never heard him speak like that too. I don't know. Gazebo, this is why these streams and your work is so important. Great explanation, concise viewpoints. Definitely a new fan, sir. Well, thank you, Gazebo. I appreciate it. So now look, I'm not saying that my analysis is correct, but let me tell you something. Odds are pretty good that my analysis is correct. This is an altered video. It's obviously an altered video, and I've seen the original now because someone sent me the original, which I'm not going to share because it's not my place to do that. It's out there if you're good at research and finding it. So so thank you for that, Gazebo. I appreciate it. This is good press for Renaldo. He's going to get to great heights. Well, we'll see if the cowards in the Democratic Alliance have the stomach for it. Per capita deaths are better under new government. Go search now. Michael, per capita deaths. So you think it's better that 23,000 people per year are murdered, vice 6,000 per year under the National Party? I think the 17,000 dead people and their families would disagree with you, and they don't give a flying flip about per capita deaths. All the people whose family members were murdered care. They don't care what the per capita statistics are. They're all numbers are what matter here. One life taken illegitimately is wrong. And, it's, Michael, oh my goodness. Michael, you're just so desperate to just play this game. Okay, here we go. So, maybe you can help me. The challenge of making people see fact on X is like impossible. No, you can't. First off, understand that a lot of those people aren't even real. Okay, a lot of the people responding to you are not even real on Twitter. We know this. It's been proven. We've seen it. The data has been proven by Twitter over and over again. A lot of them are not even real, and Twitter's been trying to crack down on that, but it's difficult. It's like whack-a-mole. You take out one, and 3 more spring up. So, DA's Martin Meyer's been appointed as MEC. Something's happened to Western Cape. New appointments. Winner gets right to story history. Yeah, except the ANC didn't win. They were handed the victory. So that's a big difference. South African prepper, the only thing keeping South Africa together is hard-working South Africans. Exactly. Michael, it's time to catch a clue. This is not the channel to bring bogus facts. You get called out. Don't cast your peers before... What's that? Arctic says, because without farmers, they can see the ANCFF are not hell-bent on destroying whites. Oh, I see. Yeah, she got attacked for a documentary on farm murders, and she ain't even South African. Yep, that's true. Do you know how many people died and were injured with the Kirk Street bomb? Oh, yeah. 76% of land South is owned by whites. Meanwhile, 76% of whites in South Africa own land. Anonymous Lex, that's factually wrong. That's factually wrong, and I will just have to break your heart again. It's so easy. I mean, you guys it's like, it's almost like they're on my staff. It's like, Anonymous Lex, you're being my technical staff. Thank you for being my technical staff. I appreciate that prompting me. The only thing I need you is to be here in the studio actually pulling up the information for me. So I'll have to do this myself. Let me go to LinkedIn, and let's go to the tape. We're going to go to the tape here, and we're going to see how nonsensical that is. First off, we're going to talk about the percentage of landowners. I tell you that Farmland, only 53% of the farms are owned by whites. Let's start with that. Now, that's not hectarage, but that's farmland actually owned by whites. It's nowhere near what you believe it is. You're telling fairy tales. So let's just take a look at this. Unfortunately, LinkedIn has made it hard to find the articles, but I know how to find it. So articles under LinkedIn. Well, that's World Cup, rugby, World Cup, Zimbabwe. What is this? 5,000. Where's it at? Come on, South Africa land and poverty. Where's it at? Come on. It's here somewhere. It's a 2018 article that I wrote based on information from the government of South Africa. Imagine that. I used government South Africa information. Isn't that crazy? I actually used the government land survey run by the government, run by the ANC, not by some white monopoly capitalist. Yep. Okay, there it is. South African land and poverty. Okay, let's just do this again. We've done this many times for our audience, but if you haven't seen this, I can't stick it because, oh, wait, I can do it. Hang on. Here's the article. You can go check it out. I'm going to put it in the chat here. So for those that are unfamiliar, it's actually 80, almost 90 murders per day, by the way. For those who just put 60 murders in there, you're way off on that. We're well over 23,000 murders per year for a country just 63 million. It's shocking. All right, so anyway. Wait, is it not? I'm sorry. Maybe it's not Anonymous Lex that was saying that. I apologize. Who said that? Geez, I'm getting it wrong now. So anyway, so there you go. So there's the link. So let me just get to this. And I'm going to just bring out one point here about this article. You've got the link. You can read the article on your own if you like. I wrote this in 2018 and it's valid. So here is Table 5, the number of individual landowners per race. This is from the November 2017 land audit report from the government of South Africa, version 2, phase 2, private land ownership by race, gender, and nationality. And it's broken down by province and a total. The total number of farmland or individual, this doesn't say farmland, this is landowners. The total number of landowners in South Africa was 95,673, of which 53% are white. 40,494 people who are white own land. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's 4.8 million white people in South Africa. That means less than 1% of white people own land. The number of Africans or blacks was I'm sorry. I stand corrected. 95,000 whites, excuse me. So it was about 2% of whites own land. The number of blacks was 40,494. The number of colors, 22,000. The number of Indians, 15,000. And other category, people consider themselves other, 7,600. A total of 181,000 South Africans actually own land in 2017. That is a fraction of the population. That's just, it's a not, here you go. So most human beings own no land. Few South Africans of any race own farmland. 181,532 South Africans, or 0.0034% of the population, own a total of 419,005 farms. 0.0034% of South Africans. So there are virtually no landowners. This is nonsense. And I went on to say one need not own land to avoid or escape poverty. I don't own land, and I got out of poverty. I got out of abject poverty. No electricity, no toilets, no running water, and I somehow got out of poverty. How? Drive, determination, hard work, and dedication, and excellence, and education, all paid off. Yep. Oh, I suppose I got it because I was white, right? Spare me. Deny promotion because I was white. I had to fight to get promoted. The key is good governance and education. The ANC has failed in education and must seriously address the failures in this area. Apartheid governance ensured that most whites got quality education while blacks did not. 24 years later, it appears few white or black South Africans in public schools are getting a quality education. Additionally, there are painfully few success stories in the transfer of land from white owners to black owners. This is also an ANC failure. Anyway, so that is from 2018, and that addresses the land issue, which is all a bunch of fairy tales, the way it's being told. Thurman Ezekiel had a message. Garrett Furstenberg. It's not racist to call black man black. It's a description of his race. No, it's a description of skin color. There's no such thing as race. We're all one race. And that compares to a country that was basically at war with itself for 3 decades. Okay. Jared says, as a powerful tool. Appreciate people standing up for the honest, hardworking man. Too many cowards out there. Yeah. So it wasn't Anonymous Lex said that. So 76% of land is owned by whites. 76 of whites in South Africa own land. That's not true. The first portion, I don't know the heck rate, but it's down to like 60 something for the amount of farmland owned by whites. But no, 76% of whites don't own land. That's nonsense. I just proved it. That's utter nonsense. Yeah. So it's over 23,000 murders per year, Arctic, and that was 2 years ago. It's higher now. Courtney says, why are the trolls on this feed? There aren't many trolls. No, this is actually pretty calm. You should have been here the last few nights, Courtney. You've been missing out. Most people could not give 2 cents about the government. Yep. And Thurman Ezekiel, Sandy Hunt, social media algorithms are feeding Michael what he wants to eat. Yep. Inigo Mulashio, do you seriously think how white people are treating South Africa today is comparable to the treatment of blacks during apartheid? Do you seriously think I actually stated that? Do you seriously believe that? Or are you listening? I never said that. I never said that. Where are you divining that from? Where are you inferring that? I didn't say that. I was explaining a plausible explanation for Renaldo's video. I didn't say that. I didn't imply that. I never stated that. You know, do you seriously type that comment? What program are you listening to, buddy? I never said that. Inigo Mulashio. I never said that. Never stated that. And I'm not going to answer the question until you retract that. So that's a silly question. Election season, so trolls get paid to patrol. Yep. Enable youth to compete internationally on jobs. Government is a joke, promoting lies. Yep. Dropping a bucket, 24% owned by the government. Yeah, the government knows a sniff percentage. Richard says, do you think that the bots can type in Afrikaans? No, they don't. They can't. Yeah, you can start doing Afrikaans if you want. Apartheid was a white empowerment scheme on steroids. Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, I've said this many times, Inigo. I've said this many times. Now you've said something I will address. There's very little difference between the African National Congress and the National Party. They're both fascist governments that enrich their favored patronage puppies. In the case of the National Party, it was Afrikaners. Not all Afrikaners, but they favored Afrikaners. But the difference between the ANC's patronage and the National Party's patronage is South Africa actually functioned and worked under the National Party. Doesn't make it right, moral, or just, just makes the fact that it actually worked. Now, it was immoral, unjust, and wrong, and it's the same today, and it's dysfunctional and doesn't work on top of that. That's the big difference. They both like state-owned enterprises. They both like controlling speech. They both like controlling people's rights. Now, they're both fascist totalitarian governments, and there's very little difference between the two of them. They just happen to be, led by people of different pigmentations. But yes, it was an empowerment scheme, absolutely, particularly for one group of whites. Enough of politics. Let's brawl. Hey, Garrett Forstenberg. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think there will be an election in November? What, in America? Of course there'll be an election. What are you talking about? I say things which the color disagrees, but it's not to troll. I simply don't share all his views. Yeah, because look, folks, and Courtney is true. He doesn't agree with everything. And it's his prerogative to be wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. You can be wrong all the time. People understand how hard it is to farm. I do. That's why I'm not a farmer. I was a farmer. It sucks. It's hard work. It's not very rewarding either. What else? Bloody hard to farm. News 24 just an article which Zilla said if it's true then it's over for Renaldo. Really? Let's just look at that because it wasn't there before I went to press. Let's see what News 24 has to say. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is the DA already coward is showing. If it's true, it's over for him. That she was made aware of the videos and spoke to him. Yeah, okay. Well, where does she say? If the video sounded true, it's over him. He'll remove his MP. Such language is unjustified. See how such offensive language can be justified. Yeah, well, the DA is going to dump Renaldo. So that's what that story just tells you right there. Helen Zilla, the woman who promised to come to my channel unsolicited and refused and never did it, never followed up on it, is now going to drop Renaldo. So there you go. You guys, the amount of security around the Union building is crazy. Well, not just Union building, at OR Tambo, on the highways, all over Joburg and Pretoria. Yeah, the security was crazy. Thurman Ezekiel says, hi, Chris. A bit late to the party, but I see that the R word was a cost. What's happening in that one? Lots of misinformation out there, so let's get the truth. Well, Thurman, we've already talked about. I'll go back and do a summary of it here in just a few minutes. Let me get through the rest of the chat, and we'll explain what's going on again. Miss Pumba, see, Gigi took his board lawyer and bodyguard to the court. Yes. Anonymous says, you missed my point. I was hitting on fake news. Oh, sorry, Anonymous Lex. That seemed a bit out of character for you. I did miss your point. Yeah, fake news. Thank you for that. Apartheid actively undermined blacks to stop from exercising their free market rights. It was socialism at gunpoint. Inigo Mulashio, that is a partially true statement. You are correct, partially. But it does not explain how many blacks became wealthy who were not part of the apartheid regime, people like Herman Mashaba. So the system, while it did not work for most blacks, it did work for some folks. So if you're going to tell the story, tell the whole story. How did Dr. Zweli Mkhize become a medical practitioner in South Africa if the system was completely rigged to harm Black South Africans. It wasn't designed in their favor or for them. We can make that argument. That's a fair argument. And many people suffered as a consequence, but not everybody. Zweli Mkhize went to school, primary school, secondary school, university, medical school, did his internship, his residency, all in South Africa, all during apartheid, became a practicing medical doctor. While Dr. Beetroot went to Moscow to get her degree, and then she learned how beetroot saves people from HIV, not. Zweli Mkhize stayed back here and got all his stuff. My family is from extreme poverty. During apartheid, my white grandmother worked as cashier for an Indian man. My white grandfather was a bricklayer employed by a black man. There you go, Stephen. Wake up before him and start working. Uncle with a farm in Zambia. I would never want to do that. Renaldo will probably report it to the FLC and DLA, and they'll have to deal with the issue. What's the FLC, Michael? What's the FLC? What's going on with Renaldo? I'll get back to that in a second. I know that what the progressive bunch is forcing fake news down people's throats. Colonel Chris Wyatt, Twitter's toxic. They tell him a bullet. Yeah, Twitter is toxic, brother. It is toxic. I am sure majority of these people are bots paid by. Yep. Okay. Okay. So Anisha. By the way, Inigo. Sorry, Inigo. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. Your first comment was, you didn't substantiate it, but you're asking good questions, making good points now. So thank you for that. MK and EFF makes it sound like once you get land, you're rich. Meanwhile, you don't tell people they need to build something to generate income. Otherwise, it's just a plot of dirt. Exactly. Yep. And it has to have access to roads. It has to have fertile soil. It has to have water. Yeah. Anna's back. You guys label Malema merely for asking you to surrender stolen land, but now are all over social media defending man who spent all his life spewing hate speech against blacks. Well, first off, and you're going to get a timeout again if you continue to lie. All his life. That's fictitious. That's a lie. That isn't the case. If it had been all his life, I would have known about it. Never heard it once in the past 4 years or 6 years. Never once heard him attack black people. I've heard him defend black people over and over again. I've also seen him do things for poor black people. So, you can sit there and lie you want, but if you continue, you're going to get a timeout again. So you're welcome to be in the chat, but not if you're going to lie. So Malema is not asking for land. Malema is asking to steal land so that he can own it. He's not going to give land to you, N. You think he's giving land to you? Then you're not paying attention to the EFF. South African prepper, the difference between apartheid and ANC is the murder rate and unemployment. Yeah, that's one more difference. Stupid random question. Why does Helen wear a wig? Helen wears a wig? Yeah, exactly, Robert. Submit your land claim. You had between 1995 and 99. Did you submit your claim, N? Or did you submit it during the bogus period that Jacob Zuma reinstated when another 141,000 were there? Full video just posted on X. Well, I have the full video. Do you think if DA dumps Renaldo, he will retire from political life, go to the PA? Remember having to break ice in the dark in the water trough so that the cows could drink it. Well, I had to break ice in the dark so that we could drink the water. I have, and this is my daily battle with X and people. They legit think that we will become billionaires once they get land. Well, that's because they're stupid. The DA is tone deaf and spineless when it matters. Typical liberals bend their knee and grovel. Exactly, that's what's going to happen here. Malema has been in parliament for years, and we pay a salary. Yep. Lex says people don't seem to realize that the government will own the land, and you will be renting as long as you behave. Exactly, and if you don't behave and you speak out against the government, you will be sanctioned and removed. Simple as that. No expropriation means state owns the land, no one owns it. Yep. Yeah, okay, what else? Any comments about Malema toy gun case? No, I haven't seen the news. I just saw a story that there was a comment about his bodyguard, but I haven't actually dug into it because I was traveling today. Land is not the best way of making money, but I'm so thankful for everyone who do that. Yep, okay. Okay, so back to Renaldo. So for those just tuning in or unaware about this, 100 likes, 200 people currently viewing. Please hit the like button or feel free to super chat if you want. But here's what happened. So the Talons are out for Renaldo, and they started 3 days ago. As he was about to be sworn in. When he got sworn in, they launched their campaign. They released a video in which Renaldo said nothing racist whatsoever. What he said was basically that black people were beaten and killed during apartheid. That was wrong. He said, but now, this is from 15 years ago. He said, now white people are being beaten and murdered, and that's wrong. That's basically what he said. And so that was labeled as racist. It's not racist. It's just a slander and smear campaign. So now they come out today with an altered video in which they have misrepresented what he said and put it in a fashion. Now, the words he uttered, if they're uttered against a person, could result in criminal injury and could result in a criminal charge because this is a fascist state that censors speech because they're afraid of words. However, that's not how it was said. And therefore, in the true context of how it was actually said, it was said in a fashion that is permissible under law. So we'll see what happens. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he didn't do anything wrong. It doesn't matter that he's helped countless people. It doesn't matter that he's a good human being. It doesn't matter because this is a country full of cowards, just like America, in which people can lie about you and smear you with no consequences. Look what they did in the Sky case to Amy. Look what they destroyed that woman's life. And she wasn't even the person posting the stuff. And she told them she wasn't. And it didn't matter. They got her fired from her job. They cost her in so many other ways. They drove her to misery and destroyed her life. And no consequences. The judgment against that scumbag leftist piece of shit was like 30,000 Rand. That's a joke. 30,000 Rand. Something like that. That's a judgment after her life was turned upside down because that spiteful piece of shit attacked her and she never did anything. She wasn't the one behind the Sky account. We know who it is now. And not there was anything wrong with the Sky account. But they went after Amy. This is gender-based violence is what it was. Gender-based violence. A man should be in prison for his actions. He should be in prison for his actions. He's walking the street, still chuckling his smile today about how he destroyed the life of an innocent woman. And I don't know why. I don't know why he did that. But this is a country where you can do that and get away with it. This country you can walk down the street and just, kidnap the deputy of the United Democratic Movement during broad daylight as he's going to the inauguration and get away with it. It's unbelievable. It's beyond the pale. So it doesn't matter whether Renaldo's right or not. You asked me to justify Renaldo's racism, yet you have never asked after form corroborate his racist accusation against Malema. I don't need AF reform to corroborate anything. I saw the trial. Did you not watch the trial, Ed? And I'm not asking you to justify Renaldo. I'm not asking you to justify anything by Renaldo. You don't justify anything. Nobody needs to justify anything by Renaldo except Renaldo, and he has nothing to justify in the first video. In the second video, he's got some explaining to do. But I suspect his explanation is going to be pretty much what I said. And if that's the case, then we know that people are committing criminal acts against him. So there you go. His choice of words is unfortunate. It's a shame. It hurts people's feelings in this country to call them unbelievers. But I also know the context of that word. But I mean, it's a shame. Anyway, but I'm not asking you to justify anything. And you're just divining stuff out of thin air. You don't have to justify anything. And I don't have to justify anything for AF reform. I watched the trial. I saw Julius Malema being cross-examined by Mark Oppenheimer. Julius Malema spews racial hatred and incites violence against white people, and it's allowed. It's allowed by a captured court. By a captured court. It's unbelievable that someone can do that. Now, in America, that is free speech. You're allowed to do that. Unless somebody gets hurt, and then you're in trouble. And people have been murdered. And kill the boar has been written in their blood on the walls of farmsteads. We've seen it. So I don't need to corroborate anything. I saw the trial. But see, in this country, you don't have juries. You're allowed to be convicted or set free by judges who can be bought. Yeah, so anyway, so. And what does AF reform have to do with this conversation? Nothing. What's this? I think Erica deleted a message by mistake. I don't even know Renaldo was a politician. Yes, he's a member of parliament for the moment. Ulrich Holzhausen says, what about Palapala? Should the DA leave the GNU? They said they will call for an impeachment until then they will protect him. No, they shouldn't leave the government national unity. It's not a government national unity. It's a coalition, and South Africa needs a government going forward. And they shouldn't leave it just because of that. It's called pragmatism. What was that? I missed this. The only reason why the case had two different definitions of racism depending on whether you're white or black. Exactly. Durant, 1795. That's right. I went below 18-1 today. Malema is the smart lawyer that South Africa never had. Malema is not a lawyer. He's a dumbass fool who spouts hateful things and gets away with it and rides around in Land Cruisers with Breitling watches despite no discernible income in his entire life. Bad things come and happen all the time. Okay. Sean Ray said, did you see South Africa relatively easily dispatch USA cricket? No, I didn't see that, but I would expect that. Are we sure the UDM guy was really kidnapped? Yeah, we're sure. I talked to Bantu Holomisa. He was kidnapped. Yep. Do not watch the video with emotion, watch with logic. Always correct. I wonder if freedom of speech makes these Renaldo haters uncomfortable. It does. All courts are captured, says Buttery Gold. And Andre says, is South Africa going through a process of McCarthyism? I don't know. Robert says, I watched a video on YouTube. According to the video, the Bantu migrated from the North Central Africa, so are they also settlers? Robert, I've said this a million times. The Nguni-speaking peoples are from Cameroon, not from Southern Africa. They're not indigenous to this area. They left Cameroon and spread across West Africa and then went east until they ran into the Neolithic people, and it didn't go so well. Then they went south down the Rift Valley, and they made that turn in Uganda, where some Bantu descendants are still, I'd say, came all the way down through the Rift Valley, working their way south. They're cattle herders, and so they went with the cattle and the grasses and the seasons. They continued to go south. Eventually, they crossed the Zambezi and then the Limpopo River sometime around 1,600 years ago. So that's about 1,200 years before Europeans reached any part of modern South Africa. And they worked their way down, pushing the indigenous peoples of the Congo Basin, like the Pygmies, into near extinction. They pushed the Khoisan San out of the fertile parts of Southern Africa, like Matabeleland in Zimbabwe, and marginalized them, pushing them towards the Kalahari and the Karoo as they came south. And then eventually they came south to east of the Drakensberg, began to turn and migrating towards the Western Cape that we know today, eventually getting to the Great Fish River about the time that Europeans landed in the Western Cape, and then they wound up clashing. But the Europeans ran into the Strandlopers, the beachcombers, the Khoisan San. They defeated the Portuguese who tried to land. It didn't go so well for them. But then the Dutch settled and put a refueling station at Cape Town. And that started that. So yes, the Nguni-speaking peoples are not indigenous to Southern Africa. They are colonizers. They are settlers. They brought an alien political system to the region, just like the Europeans did. They colonized Southern Africa, just like the Europeans did. It's uncomfortable for them to admit the truth because they're just bigots and afraid of history. It's like the whole story, we've been dispossessed for 40 years. That's horse manure. No one dispossessed the Zulu because the Zulu didn't exist 400 years ago. They haven't existed for 2 centuries. No one dispossessed anyone at that time. That's utter nonsense. Only the Khoisan San have legitimate basis for that sort of thing going back to 1652. Not the Zulu, not the Venda, not the Tswana, not the Eswatini, none of those people. Not the Ndebele. That's just pure fiction and lies. That came later. But those people colonized and brought an alien political system to Southern Africa, just like the Europeans did. But they don't like to admit that. If we had to be held accountable for things we said 16 years ago, yeah, exactly. They keep acting like he just said this stuff. Democracy in the world is a joke. We don't even know the leaders, okay, says South African prepper. You are from Cameroon. LL Entertainment. I am not from Cameroon. My ancestors came from East Africa and were smart. Unlike a lot of people in Africa, they got the hell out of Africa. They realized there was no future here because life was short and grim. So they went across the Red Sea when the water was low during an ice age. They wound up in Yemen. They're like, shit, it's hot here. We don't like it here. So they went north. They eventually got to the Caucasus and there were saber-toothed cats and they were eating their kids. And like, it sucks here and it's cold. So they started migrating west. Eventually worked their way into modern Europe, and they kept going further and further north, and they got less and less sunlight, so they got lighter and lighter, and they got pink eventually. They developed these sexy blue eyes at some point from the genetic mutation, and everybody wanted to bang the blonde-haired, blue-eyed chicks. And next thing you know, and the redheads, and next thing you know, here we are, thousands of years later, dead sexy. Hey, that's how it works. Anyway, so I'm not from Cameroon. My ancestors from East Africa, and they got the hell out a long time ago, long before Swahili came along. A lot of people are commenting on Malema having a white Afrikaner bodyguard. I don't really care who his bodyguard is. Please, for the search, what's this? Oh, like the video. Many people don't see it or care, but this ANCDA is the best thing for the SLM. Anonymous Lex, I have said it many, many times, and I said it when the results came out, and I said that the credible coalition would be ANCDA IFP. It's the best, least worst option for South Africa. And that's the truth, folks. 121 likes. Can we do better than that? Matthew N says, I know better than trust the DA. They have no honor, flip-flopping all the way. And I can't disagree with your argument about not trusting the DA, and we'll see that when they cut Renaldo loose, how we can't trust him. I know better than... Okay, so Charles Duplessis, it's really not about racism, hate speech, whataboutism. It's about being smart. You can push the boundaries, be edgy, and still be smart. Roman Catholic is a good example of the latter. I'm not really sure where you're going with that, Charles, but thank you for that. This is complete horseman. Malema can say whatever he pleases and nothing happens. Ronaldo says something that isn't remotely racist, and yet they come with him vengeance. So unfair. Yep. Good posts for the DA and KZN, Public Works and Finance. Yeah, that's you're right, Sandy. That's a good choice. ANC-NP coalition didn't work. Why would ANC-DA one work? Well, the National Party and the ANC did not have a coalition. They had a government national unity, and then they merged. So they became the same. And it did work. The ANC-DA, completely different story. Renaldo, unfortunately, is an example of not being smart, and it's over for him. Charles, you may be 100% correct. But if we go back in everyone's life 16 years, and I go back to my life, I was a serving military officer, like that on me 16 years ago, that's for sure. But people are young, so yeah. Also, look at the rand value since, yeah. Well, don't get too excited about that. This is a brief honeymoon. The economics are not in your favor, and the rand will decline again just down the road. What else? Thanks for the history. You're welcome, Robert. Willem Scott says, join late. How's Renaldo doing? Probably not so well. Let me see if he's written to me while I've been on air. I don't think he has. He's probably got a few other things, yeah, more important than talking to me. No, there's nothing there from him. Okay. If you were a true Action SA guy, you would not defend all DA people's racism. Your leader dumped them for the reason. Yeah, no, Herman Mashaba dumped the DA because it was politically convenient, not because of racism. That's a fairy tale. Yeah, that's a fairy tale. I read social media comments about Bantu coming down to South Africa. That is, say it was okay because it was fellow Africans. There was no violence. The troubles being with the Europeans. Well, CyberEggs, that's a lie. It's a lie. Do you think that the Bushmen just chose to live in the desert when there was luxurious, great, well-watered lands with fruits growing everywhere and lush grazing grounds? Do you think they decided to live in the marginal lands of the Kalahari? Just, hey, you know what? Yeah, this place over here where they built Salisbury thousands of years later, that's nice, but I'm going to live over here where there's no freaking water, and I got big black mambas coming at me every night, crawling up and killing me, and I'm just going to live here where it's almost impossible to survive, because it's so much better. Give me a break. Give me a break. That's utter nonsense. That's just pure fiction. Did you see over 40,000 tickets sold in 24 hours? Yeah, I bought a ticket, even though I'm going to have a press pass, unless I don't get one. But I heard they're down to 1,000 tickets. Chris, do you think many expats would be moving back? No, I don't. I don't think not yet. We need to wait to see what's going to happen. What else? Butterill, the DA is a joke. They said a year ago they approached the FBI to investigate Palapala. Now it's unimportant. No, it's not unimportant, Buttery. Go, come on, guys. Look, this is the problem with politics. You got to understand politics. What is the DA supposed to do? Sit there and carp and let the ANC form a government with the MK or with the EFF and the PA? You think that's a good outcome? Will that make you happy, Buttery Gold, that the DA stood on their ground and they didn't go into coalition, they made no compromise, they made no deals, and they stayed out of power for another 5 years while the EFF gets a deputy president with Julius Malema and the PA gets in the government along with the ANC? Do you think that's a better outcome? Politics is not perfect. It involves compromises. And that's one reason why I'm not in politics and why I didn't succeed as a candidate, because I don't compromise my principles. And that doesn't work in politics. So you got to, come on. You got to be realistic here. That's not fair to the process. That's why politics are nasty. Or what are your thoughts on that? On what, Warren? What are thoughts on what? You're not very well informed, Cyber. What does CyberEggs say? No, CyberEggs didn't say that. CyberEggs read that on social media. Pay attention. Do you think many expats? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I got that. Okay. All right. Okay. Indy says, sad thing is, 16 years ago, Renaldo probably didn't think he would be going into politics. 16 years ago was so young and stupid. Luckily, I'm not a public figure today. That's what says. Indy says. Why are they bringing up Renaldo 16 years ago? Because they're political cowards and they hate him. The flying monkey crowd, the Bianca crowd, is after him. Yep. And they've been dying to get him for years. Mara must create a party to get 1 million votes. Then he can say whatever he wants, like Malema. Federal Legal Commission enforces DA Constitution. Oh, thank you. Federal Legal Commission. That's what, Michael. Thank you for sharing that. We'll have process deal with issues relating to transgressions. Constitution can revoke your membership. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Michael, for sharing. Warren Horn, 100% guys. I agree. Immigrating is the hardest thing to do. It's not easy. Okay. Better. PK says better for me when the Rand does not do better. I really want the Rand to do a lot better. Okay. CyberEggs. Yeah, I know. It was a lot. Yeah. See, CyberEggs didn't say that. That's what I said. Okay. Francois Fundavestoisen. Why would I come back to Knickerball? I don't know what that's supposed to say. Rudolph says, man, I definitely need to delve into my history as deep as you do. Yeah, it's not hard. It's all there. It's all there. Why do you love Africa so much? I've explained this 1,000 times, Camel to 100, but I'll be happy to do it again tonight. While we have 207 viewers here, but only 132 likes. Can we get some more? Yeah, so did I ever end that poll? I have to look and see. Anyway, I guess I did on the poll. I followed the conflicts in the 1970s as a young man, a kid in Rhodesia, Angola, and in Mozambique. I found it fascinating. It was a time when Soldier of Fortune magazine was big, and I was like, wow, I didn't have anything, so I was latching on to something interesting, and it caught my interest. And then I read a book by a guy, I think his name was James Stockdale or something like that, or Stockwell, I think it was Stockdale, former CIA agent, talking about how the U.S. CIA backed Holden Roberto of the FNLA, the Front for the National Liberation of Angola, which was based in the Congo, DRC, Zaire, and backed by Mobutu. So I found it fascinating. And then I read about South Africa, what was going on there. In 1980, I read a book by James Mitchell called The Covenant. It's historical fiction and uses South Africa as the canvas in which to paint it. And I found it fascinating. What a crazy country full of all these unusual and interesting people from all over. And that's my interest in South Africa group. My interest in Africa was initially confined to Southern Africa. But then eventually I learned Swahili and began interested in East Africa. Then I wound up living in West Africa, and I got an interest in West Africa, and also lived in North Africa. So yeah, and I lived all over the continent. So that's why my interest. I'm an Africanist, I'm an economist, I'm an intelligence professional, I'm an analyst, I'm a consultant, I'm a polyglot, I'm a historian, I'm a political scientist, I'm a jack of many trades. And my interest in Africa has long been there. And I cover many, many topics, from macadamia nut industry in South Africa to musical performers to politicians to sports. And yeah, I hope that answers your question. Funk Dunk, Pandora Rome, Plausible and company spew racism, and they get away with it. Yeah, yep. Can we speak out the majority who did not vote? Yeah, sure. History is, whoops, where'd it go? It's important to learn from what we should do is work together. Agree, Chris. Anyone question the DA joining needs their heads read? Exactly, Funk Dunk. Yes, 42 million are eligible to vote, and only 16.4 million did. It was not Renaldo said, it was reindeer. Reindeer. Can we please run a poll asking if they watched the full 6-minute video? Do you like Matt Walsh? No special affinity for him. GNU sounds like an antelope. It is an antelope. Okay. I'll do a poll. Hang on a second there, Matthew. Charles says, I do feel sorry for Renaldo. He did give a platform for so many podcasters and help start the careers. That's a fact. Yeah, but that may be true, but that really isn't germane. Eric Michael says, when these public things happen, people usually report DA members to the Federal Legal Commission. It can be argued that these issues cause a party to be in dispute, but obviously charges. Yeah, well, a party can be brought in disrepute by lies about someone, slander, then that's a pretty cowardly system. I don't know of too many edgy public domain podcasters who have successfully transitioned to politics. No, they haven't. Most haven't. To come back to South Africa is not an option now. Crime is too high. Yep. I doubt the EA likes the coalition. Exactly, Ursula. Okay, I'm caught up. So let me put a poll up, okay? Let me start a new poll. Oh, I guess the other poll is there. So let me close the other poll. No, I can't do that. Why is my poll? Is my poll still there? I just can't see it. Oh, come on. This stupid thing won't let me end my poll. There it is. Okay, so end the poll. We got 236 votes in that poll. End the poll. End the poll. End the poll. There we go, finally. All right, good Lord, that was hard to do. All right, so let me get back down here and try to start a new poll, okay? All right, so here comes a new poll. Start a poll, okay. Let me see, what do we call this one? Okay. All right. So I got another poll out there. Okay. Looking at leaving South Africa. Okay. What's that? Sadly, the global tech market is still a bad state. It is. Okay. Do you like your take on things tonight? Okay. Matthew Dixon's kind of, yeah, Matthew, when he's not trolling, he's interesting. And says Helen Sills is not a smart politician. Ron Poe is making things easier for her. Let her relocate Zimbabwe and try her ticks there. Oh, good Lord. Okay, I'm not going to take it. I was going to delete that. Helen Zille is a very bright politician. She was the most interesting politician on the planet when she was the mayor of Cape Town. That's a fact. And also the best city in the world at the time. Howdy, Chris. What is your prediction for the next 6 to 18 months for South Africa? Oh, that's a good question. Anywhere else I can watch a video, I delete all my social media. I can't vote in a poll because I don't really know what happened. Okay, well then don't vote. So. Excuse me. All right, so yeah, I know. What's going to happen in South Africa? It depends entirely on what the cabinet looks like. We have to wait and see what the cabinet looks like, and then if it functions. But I stick to my story previously when I said that this is the best, least worst option for South Africa, and that it does not stop the rot. The country to continue to decline. It just do so at a much slower pace. Yep, much slower pace. So there you go. What happened to my thumb? I cut my thumb open, liberating the political signs, cleaning up the rubbish on the streets of South Africa when I was in Port Elizabeth. Yep, that's over a week ago, and it's healed, but there's a flap of skin there, and I don't want to get caught on things because then I'll re-injure it and rip it open again. So I'm hoping that the skin will just dry out and fall off, and then I can just take off the bandage, so the plaster. Yep. Yeah, it hurt. And actually, when you hear how I did it, it's really bad. It was deep, very deep, and crimson blood came gushing out of it. Spelling mistakes in my poll. Well, it's late and I'm tired, so what is the spelling mistake? And that's what you're really, the DA. Okay, well, you know what I said. I don't know if I can edit the poll, can I? No, it's just end it. I can't edit it. You can just end it. Yeah, okay, well, should the DA. I didn't see that because I'm still getting used to these glasses. Okay. All right, 71 votes. Excuse me. Chris shed blood for PE. I did shed blood for PE. So what happened is I was getting an Action SA sign with Herman Mashab on it, and it was wet because it must have rained or there was moisture there. And it was dark. It was before the meet and greet in PE. And I cut the string on one side, but it wasn't coming on the other side. And I pulled it, and the sign slipped. And when I went to snip the cord, we went too fast, and I didn't have these glasses on. So I gouged, it took a big chunk out of my finger, and it didn't look bad at first, but then the blood just came. Woof. I had to hold it down for a few minutes to stop the blood, get the coagulation going. And then I went and got a plaster put on it, but yeah. Renaldo has no business being a member in Parliament. He doesn't deserve the title of honorable member. Well, that's your view, and you are entitled to it. Renaldo, I wrote to Change.org to tell them to remove their racist rhetoric off their platform. You should sue them for allowing the real black racists spewing inflammatory hate speech value. Yeah. Hey, Renaldo's here. Renaldo's here. I wonder how long Renaldo's been here. Man, I said all kinds of bad stuff about him. Again, I don't know if he's been here to hear what my explanation was. And Renaldo, do not weigh in on my analysis of what the video was. Just don't do it, because it'll be used. People take this stuff, and you need to hold your powder for your lawsuits you're going to have to file. Pete Bassington would love to back, but politics, home affairs is not an option. Now citizenship by split blood as is the French Foreign Legion. Exactly, Renaldo. No comment. That's exactly right. No comment. Let the analyst and the pontificators comment, and I did tonight, and I gave my explanation. So far we got a poll, 84 votes, 86% say the DA should support Renaldo, but I think the DA is cowardly, so we'll see what happens. And it's such a dad explanation about why they cut their finger. It's not a dad explanation, it's true. It's true. Well, okay, so you can exit. I'll help you exit because you just spewed racism, and I don't tolerate racism on the channel. So, and you're gone. You have been given a timeout. Remove, and Arctic got to it before me, but I'm going to give him a timeout. I can make sure I get the right guy there. But using a timeout, 5 minutes. Let's do 10 minutes. There you go. All right. So you've been timed out, Ed. So you can leave because your comments are unfounded and they're criminal injury, and we don't tolerate that on this channel. So bye-bye. Don't let the door hit you on the backside. And James Bowie says we're on your side. Well, that's great. Everybody here, every viewer can be on Ronaldo's side, and that's your prerogative. But what did N say? N called Ronaldo racist, and I don't tolerate that. So he's just he tried the same thing last night. He got a timeout last night as well. He'd been mostly behaved tonight, but he just can't help himself. It's not in his DNA. Indy says, got to go to bed. Thanks for the stream, Chris. Strong to Renaldo. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it doesn't matter how many people on social media support him. It comes down to the facts coming out and his party having the courage to stick with him. The government of national unity is not a government of national unity. It's a coalition, and coalitions come with compromises. So we'll see what happens with the members of parliament being selected. Gate McKenzie, stop. Oh, and Hester's saying something off her cons there. Nick, how's it going there? Oh, look at that. His Royal Highness Prince Chevikulo says, Ronaldo, you represent us, the South Africans, and racist must leave you alone. Look, that's very kind of him. He's also going to time and out. Erica, well, we got him. Arctic got him for the timeout. So Arctic is playing the role of moderator there, and I gave him the, he removed his comment. I gave him the timeout twice, but he hasn't returned after he's been timed out. Sorry, also the chat. I think a while to reload. Sometimes you have to reload it. Yeah, that must be your device or whatever you're on. But anyway, folks, again, the title tonight was Wednesdays without Renaldo, and that had nothing to do with the attacks the past 3 days. No, I'm not censoring him. No, I'm not censoring him. YouTube doesn't allow hate speech, and that was unfounded hate speech. So it's not censoring. I haven't blocked him on this channel. I warned him not to say things like that. They're inappropriate. And somebody's alarm is going off. Or cops are running around. Yep. No one's censoring anybody at LL Entertainment. He's gotten away with all kinds of crap on this channel, and I've let him say all kinds of things. So stop misleading people. You're being dishonest. There is a consequence to saying things. You can say what you want, but there's a consequence. The consequence is punishment. He was punished. This is a short punishment. Anyway. Okay. That's a little disconcerting. All right, the alarm has stopped. Well, the good news is I can see a lot of space here because it's open. There's no bushes here. Somebody's coming. I can take him out. Flynn Faraday. Hey, where can I read why Ronaldo's in hot water? Search right now. Get a bunch of misinfo. I can run through the whole thing again. But it basically comes down to a bunch of leftists really don't like Ronaldo. They've had their talons out for him for a long time. This was timed to the government's swearing in, and the attacks began. Initially, the first video we put out, the IOL with irresponsible journalism factually got things wrong in their story. Funnily enough, I was broadcasting when the story came out, and I corrected their incorrect information. And within 20 minutes of me telling the correct information regarding Renaldo on a couple things they got wrong, they're just minor things, easy to check, but lazy editors don't check things. Within 20 minutes, they had corrected their story, which I thought was pretty funny. Coincidence? Probably. But it's funny, it was 20 minutes after I mentioned their error that it was corrected. But the IOL came out with what I consider to be irresponsible journalism and factually incorrect. First off, they lied. They said that that there was a petition to the government of South Africa to remove Renaldo from Parliament over racist comments in a video from 15 years ago. Well, that's untrue. There is no petition to Parliament by anyone to remove Renaldo from office. That is a lie. That is a change.org piece of crap, a leftist hate-wanking website that is designed to undermine civil order around the world. And any idiot can create a poll on there to have something put on there. And so you don't even have to be a real person to vote in it. You just have to have an account set up there. So that is a lie. That's fake news by the IOL. I also know for a fact tonight, confirmed through a source, that the Independent Line contacted someone who has the correct information about Renaldo, and they knew that they published false information and refused to retract it regarding Renaldo in their stories. So that was when it started. Now, we see stories popping up all over with a second video that's come out, and I gave my analysis of what I believe the video is earlier on. Renaldo said no comment, and he should stick to that no comment. It's inappropriate. He needs to hold his powder to deal with this. But my view was that it was an edited video. It's clearly edited. And it was put in a context that would portray Renaldo in a negative light. And my belief and my analysis is that what was said to make an example. If he was someone else, he could get away with saying things like that. That's not what he believes. That's not what he has in his heart. That's not what's in his soul. And it is beyond reprehensible for people to call somebody something like that and know that it's false. And they know that it's false. And that is what is going on here. You make me laugh so much just because you were like, someone is coming in the bushes, I can take them out. No, there are no bushes here. I can take them out because I can see them as they approach. And I will take them out. You think I won't? 16 years ago, 15 years ago. Yeah, the digging for dirt. Oh, no. They've been doing it. Flynn Faraday says, thanks. You're welcome. Yeah, it's a national bird song, is alarms. But there's a reason alarms go off by mistake or because someone's breaking in. So both those things apply. This is the first place I've been in my entire ever living in South Africa where I don't have a place to lock up the car. It's on the street. Never heard of such a thing. Yep. Yeah, Arctic has met me. There better be a bunch of them. Yep. So, yeah, 15 years ago, scraping the barrel. That's true. I mean, it's just really sad. It's character assassination, and in South Africa, you can get away with it. And people are getting away with it. So anyway, so let me see how many people voted in the poll now. The poll has got 106 votes. Okay. It's pretty strong. Renaldo, South Africa's Trump. No, he's not. No, he's not. Trump is a conservative. Renaldo is a political liberal, slightly left of center. Is it cold there? Not as cold as Gauteng. I'm not cold at all. I just put this on just for the heck of it. Oh, look at that. Nick just gave 140 Rand super chat for some Druvos. Thank you for that. The Hadidas or Adidas. Yes. Yes. No, my flight from OR Tambo to Cape Town, no Hadidas were harmed. When I landed in Cape Town, no Dassies were harmed. This has been in the magazine for the exact moment it's expected leftists. Exactly. It has been loaded in the chamber and they've been waiting. They're looking at crap from 15 years ago. What about recent events that have been racist? They don't care about that. I saw an AFF guy saying the DA is right wing. They all say that. It's comical. The DA is not right wing. It's a leftist political party, leftist center, more a social democrat party than anything. So it is hilarious to listen to people call basically anything that's not communist. These clowns is right wing. The right wing party in this country is the Patriotic Alliance. And right of center parties are the ACDP and the Freedom Front Plus. But there are no real right wing parties in this country. Lots of left wing parties, lots of leftists, but not really many right wingers. In the way they're finding things 50 years ago to attack them with. I don't know what you're saying there. That's the rest of a sentence there, Funk. Don't get into the rest. Thank you for the super chat, Nick Groves. Appreciate that. Winnie says, I really make sure that she misses her birth country. Well, Winnie, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to, are you being sarcastic or are you, because I'm actually keeping you informed? I'm not sure where you go with that. Look, I mean, this is an amazing country. Unfortunately, it's led by a cabal of idiots, and that's at every level in virtually every party, who are more interested in craving political power, self-aggrandizement, self-enrichment than they are in being servant leaders. Now, the irony here is that one person that we're talking about tonight is actually a servant leader. Folks, I mean, again, look, I was in Port Elizabeth a couple of days before the swearing in of Parliament, and Renaldo is out there with members of his political party pouring blacktop into potholes so that people's cars and their combis for taxi drivers aren't damaged and people harmed by poor road repair. They're fixing the roads because the city doesn't get it done, taking care of road. I mean, that's not what politicians are supposed to be doing, but that's what they were doing. So love them, like them, hate them, leave them, doesn't matter. But a servant leader serves the needs of the people. And that's what I've seen in the 4 years that I've known this guy. And I've been watching his videos for 6 or 7 years. But this is clearly a character assassination. And it's just really sad that people get away with it. Romano doesn't have Melania. That's true. That's true. He doesn't have Melania. Nobody does. Only he hasn't. What about the Hadid? Oh, I'm making this because, well, you can have the Hadidas. I would like to have a shotgun for them. The Dassies are adorable. Who would not like a rock Hyrax? I like the Dassies. They're beautiful. I love going up on Table Mountain because they're everywhere. But I've seen them. I saw them in Betty's Bay. The Dassies were out there in Betty's Bay and then also in Simonstown. Yep. Living in South Africa is definitely not for sissies. Yep. More purchases. Propaganda against Renaldo straight from the Democrats' playbook. Yeah, it is. It is. That's just the reality, folks. That's the harsh reality here. So today, the president of South Africa was sworn in. I believe Renaldo was there for it as a member of parliament. And he just got home a short while ago from that flight. I got down to the Cape quicker than he got to the Eastern Cape. Eastern Cape's a little hard to get to, less flights. Cyril has opened a laptop. He can't find his iPad, but he has opened a laptop. I honestly, legally elected person should be replaced. Or should be respected. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so anyway, so Cyril Ramaphosa was reelected today, and amazingly, the South African government was only about an hour behind. 11:22 was supposed to be sworn in. It didn't happen until about 12:40, so that's not bad, all things considered. The dignitaries showed up. They were placed. King Mswati was there. President Nyusi of Mozambique was there. I don't know if Masisi was there. I assume he was. I also saw that Obasanjo, the former president of Nigeria and the elder statesman of the African Union, was there. He's still looking pretty good for his age. Yep. And water tap, only thing he accomplished. What? Honest, I don't know what you're talking about there. Dasis make cute pets. They make pets? I didn't know Dasis made pets. They are cute little creatures. But anyway, so so the inauguration happened. I live streamed it earlier today for those who want to watch that or listen to that. And then we're waiting for the cabinet announcement. So if the South African government implements a ministry of disinformation like Joe Biden wanted to have, I think we should nominate Renaldo to be the minister, the cabinet member. I must say, it seems you've attracted a different crowd of people which is good, judging by the comment section. There's a 10 p.m. Joburg P flight. If people boarded quickly, you could still make the last round of P strip clubs. There are strip clubs in PE? Damn, Arctic, why didn't you tell me that? I had nothing to do in PE. I was bored. I could have gone to strip clubs. I had no idea. Nick, you're in PE. You didn't tell me about the strip clubs? Shame on you. What kind of veteran are you? You tell an Army guy about the strip clubs, man. Come on. There's strip clubs in PE? I had no idea. And here I am trying to avoid PE like the plague. Oh, my goodness. Anyway. Yeah, so let's end that poll. Let's see how many votes got on that. There are three strip clubs. Damn. All right, so 113 votes in that one. Okay, cool beans. Yes, Dasis are related to elephants. That's their closest species relation is to the elephant. Pachyderms, yep. Egyptian geese, they're annoying. Sometimes take some and sand them so they get, what's this? Don't get homesick. What? Sand them? What do you mean sand them? I have no idea what that is. Anyway, I'll be on the radio tonight on the Common Sense Conservatives out of Nashua, New Hampshire. That is at 1 a.m. South Africa time. Whew. And that will be at 7 p.m. on the East Coast. Excuse me, Matthew says, strip joints, they have exercise clubs. Okay. The sand in Egypt. I have no idea what you're talking about there. Anyway, let me cover a couple news stories. Scientific basis for that statement. R1. It's a matter of biology. Look it up. Look up Dasis, and you'll find their closest related species is elephant. Yep, it's true. It is true. Look it up. It's not some myth, not fairy tale. Hang on a second. Yeah, so Twitter is planning on doing financial services, or X, I should say. X plans to launch financial service tools. I told you that was coming. They applied for a license. Elon Musk aims, no, my plaster is falling off. Elon Musk aims to add financials. What's this? Stop that. No, thank you. I already have a subscription. Turballs. Plans to add financial services to its long list of features to increase engagement and compete with apps such as Venmo and the Cash App. X has submitted applications in 11 states in a bid to receive money transfer licenses that would let them platform advance to its plan to launch X payments. The new feature would work similarly to PayPal and Venmo, letting users transfer money to other users, store money, and purchase products all through X. Yeah, no, they've done this for ages. We know about that. He applied for that over a year ago. So this is, I don't know why they're telling the story now, but we're just waiting for X to come out with that service. That's what I'm waiting on. Oh, man, I need a better plaster here. And there's nobody open this hour for me to get one. Right, so that's coming. Hundreds of people participating in the Hajj have died, reportedly in extraordinary heat. Temperatures reaching 125 degrees Fahrenheit. That's well over 40 degrees Celsius, closer to 50 if I'm not mistaken. People dying in Saudi Arabia on the Hajj. Several days of extraordinary heat took a major toll on one of the world's largest religious gatherings, with hundreds reported dead as part of this year's Hajj in the desert of Saudi Arabia. Two unnamed Arab diplomats told the Agence France Presse news service that 323 people from Egypt alone had died, most because of heat-related illnesses. Egypt had not yet shared an official count, but other countries whose citizens flocked to holy city Mecca have been reporting tolls. At least 138 from Indonesia are dead, 41 from Jordan, and 35 from Tunisia. Wow, that is absolutely crazy. Yeah, I said about 50 degrees, it's 51. And while it's not clear how many of these deaths were attributable to the heat, this year's Hajj coincided with a heat wave unusually searing for June. At one point during the multi-day gathering, temperatures reached 51.8 degrees Celsius or 125 Fahrenheit. More than 1.8 million people took part in the pilgrimage. 51.8 degrees Celsius. Man, oh man, oh man. That is a scorcher. Meanwhile, a heat wave is hitting the United States. Thank goodness I'm in South Africa. As a punishing heat dome continues to intensify over the North Sea of the United States, scores of record high temperatures are set to be broken Wednesday from Michigan to Maine, including Detroit, Cleveland, Buffalo, Albany, and Caribou near Maine's northern tip. Temperatures set to climb well into the 90s and could reach 100 in some areas. Wow. 75 million people affected by this. Of course, it's all climate change. Yes, climate change. Yes, yes, yes. Anyway. So Independent Line ran the story knowing the facts were wrong about Renaldo. And I hope somebody talks to the press ombudsman about that, because that is not acceptable. It's a licensed media outlet in this country, and it should be reporting news, not fake news. Anyway, they thought he was going to sell me out, and Lehman pleads with court to release his bodyguard co-accused. Julius Malema and Adrian Sneyman were in court for the second day of their trial, in which they're accused of discharging a firearm. Yes, well, Juju's the one that discharged it, so why is the other guy getting charged? Anyway, so let me get back to the chat here and see what you guys have got to say while I was going through those headlines. It's nice to have Father Christmas read the news to me. Well, I read the news, and then I give you analysis for it. So, Dossier's close to the elephant is due to similarities in the structure of the feet and teeth, apparently. I don't know. What's your take on Putin and Kim Jong-un? Oh, that's not good. That's not good, Prince. That's not good. That is not good. I mean, it's one thing for Putin and Xi Jinping to get along. That's not a surprise, but it's bad mojo for Putin and little Kim to get together and do the dance. Little Kim wants nuclear weapons. Vlad's got nuclear weapons. I don't think he's stupid enough to give them to North Korea, but who knows? But he also needs ammunition. He's out of artillery rounds, and North Korea has a lot of artillery rounds, 122 millimeter, 152 millimeter, and the Russians have those pieces. So probably they work, and because the North Koreans got their technology from Russia to begin with, the Soviet Union. So he needs it, and North Korea has tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of ammunition buried in mountains and depots all over North Korea. So they're probably going there. He's going to get something. So North Korea is going to want something in exchange for it, and it won't be basketball player trading cards. It won't be that. It'll be something else. Chris has a big bush. Where did that go? Oh, I missed some chat here. Okay, there we go. I'm skeptical about a lot of so-called science like dinosaurs and turned into birds. No, birds are dinosaurs. They're not turned from dinosaurs. There were birds that were dinosaurs. These are the ones that survived because they can fly away from mess. At this point, Elon could launch the worst phone ever. It would still sell 30 million. Yep. Dude, as a junior first officer, the caps would throw us a flight if you didn't know where every bar and strip club. I like it when Chris talks foreign. What did I say that was foreign? Steve says, have a good night. Thanks a lot. Francois van der Westhuizen are one of the oldest dinosaurs. I'm not going to answer that. Dossie's close relative elephant. Okay. All right. Can you check on your solar intake from there? Yeah, I can, but I have to close the app because it's on this phone. I don't have it on my PC or my laptop. I have it on my phone. Now the dogs are making noise. First the alarm went off. Now the dogs are making noise. Yeah, I can't check my solar here, and I've had a pretty good week, and the month is shaping up pretty well. We've got 11 days left in June, and I could set a record this month if it continues. I've been to 52. It was a little rough. I have as well. I've been to Saudi Arabia. It gets hot. Cloud seeding though, crazy weather. High temps, great sun, good solar. Yeah, that's true. It's not a bromance. He hasn't visited North Korea in 24 years. No, Trump wasn't there either. Trump did not meet him in North Korea. Trump met him elsewhere in Asia. Little Kim wants some bigger guns to piss off South Korea. Exactly. Why is someone using an African name saying that? And my moderator deleted that. Don't come out here and say that. Joshua, look at politics is by definition popularity contest. Renaldo is a PR disaster. He should resign. Party is bigger than one person. No, see, that's wrong, Joshua. That's 100% wrong. So him resigning would be proof that you can slander somebody and get away with it and destroy society. No, the people who've committed these crimes against him need to be prosecuted and pay a price for it. I mentioned earlier how they destroyed the life of Amy by falsely claiming she was Sky, getting her fired from her job, causing her great distress and destroying her life and causing her misery beyond belief. She did nothing wrong. Hang on a second. I go get a charger here because my battery's down low. Give me a second. You do not cave to scumbags who slander you. That is unacceptable. That is not what you should do. I gotta move this over here, I think. Hang on a second. There we go. Okay, got it. Okay, good. All right. I was down to 15%. Now, when this phone gets 15%, it goes really fast. So, no, you don't. I'm sorry. That's not how it works. If you cave to them, they just keep coming back. It's not about bigger than one person. It's about truth and justice, not about slander and lies. What else? Turn out your lights. You'll watch for me. KGB on your tail. Trust in the dog. It's not the KGB. Not the KGB. It's home invasions. It's home invasions. Yep. All right. North Korea testing medium long range hypersonic missiles. What would that range possibly be? Mid to long range is going to get them to the United States, but mid range would get them halfway across the Pacific. They probably hit Hawaii. They could hit the Philippines with it. Not that they want to hit the Philippines. Yep. And what else? Do you think this will affect the DA's black vote? They need votes from 80% of the population. I don't think so. Most of the black South Africans who vote for the DA actually are people who think they don't vote based on emotion. They vote for the DA because they've sussed things out and they believe it's the right party. It's not based on affinity. It's not based on ethnicity. It's based on actually thinking about your vote. So most of the black voters that the DA gets vote for that reason. And most of those people will probably look at this and evaluate it before they make some decision. When are you going to become U.S. ambassadors? Not under Joe Biden, that's for sure. I'll tell you that right now. That ain't going to happen. The world is messed up. Keep loving each other. Preaching a good word. Truth always wins. Okay, PK, have a good night. Yeah, it's a bit late here, isn't it? So we've gone for an hour and a half. I think it's time to wrap up. What was that, Colonel Chris? Do you have RSA weapon, a flashlight? Exactly. Yeah, well, I got a torch on my mobile. But do you think this will... Okay, I got that already. Anyway. Can you drive a tank? Yes, I have driven a tank before. Yep, sure have. Yep, fair enough, says Joshua. No, Joshua. I mean, honestly, the problem is when you surrender to this nonsense. Now, I mean, if Renaldo did something wrong, that's a different story. But the information we have available thus far would indicate that that is not the case. People are making false allegations, claiming racism for something that wasn't racist. I'm talking about the first video. The second video is one that will have to be explained, and I've given a plausible explanation, and perhaps I'm right. We'll see. False accusations can destroy someone's life. Yep, exactly. You had to take your accusers to court to clear your name, and then you had a stroke. Yep. Anyway, all right, guys. Everybody's leaving, so have a good night. Take care of yourselves. I've got to charge this phone. I've got to be on the radio in an hour and a half, so I'm going to take a break, get set up to go to rec. And I have to have a breakfast meeting in the morning at 8:30, so I can get ready for that. Joyous to the food and the awesome people and keep making me jealous. Okay, Winnie, thank you for showing up. We've missed you terribly. Please check out our streams occasionally, not once every 2 years. You've been missed, Winnie. All right, thanks. Everybody be safe out there. And everyone have a good night. Take care of yourself. Love each other. Take care of each other. Don't take any wood nickels. God bless and have a good night. Thanks a lot, everybody. Hit that like button. 158 likes. You can do better than that.